Okay, here we are all gathered together for the 50th anniversary of my brother Bob and his lovely wife Brenda. Since this is 50 years since they've been married, I pulled some stuff off the computer, and we're gonna just go down memory lane for a little bit before I make say a few words about it.
Oh no.
I'm sure I'm probably not the first one who's done this and pulled stuff off the computer. And this is back in 1963, the year they got married. And the biggest thing in 1963 was the assassination of Kennedy.
I was at the
And the cost of living, back in 1963, you could buy a new house for $12,000. Gallon of gas was 29 cents. And you could get a stamp to put on your envelope for 4 cents.
Do you guys remember all that?
Yes,
Yeah.
I do.
Yes.
That was also the year that the polio vaccine came out, which saved a lot of people.
Really?
And the first U.S. state lottery in New Hampshire also came out in '63.
New Hampshire.
And Martin Luther King gave his speech, "I Have a Dream." AT&T introduced the first touch-tone phone.
Still getting.
Tape cassettes were invented, but not here in the U.S., but in the Netherlands. And pull-tab cans were used for soda, made by a company that's still around, Alcoa. And let's see. And the Beatles released their first album, Please Please Me. And they made many after that too.
I don't know, please.
And some of the popular films back in 1963 were Cleopatra, The Longest Day, Lawrence of Arabia, and Mutiny on the Bounty. And let's see, the top hits for 1963 were, I don't know, maybe they'll play some later, Go Away Little Girl, Walk Right In, Hey Paula, which is Rose and my favorite song from back then. It was the music, not the name. And let's see, Walk Like a Man, Our Day Will Come, and He's So Fine. And some of the popular TV programs were the Andy Griffith Show, the Flintstones, and the Dick Van Dyke Show. Also born in that year were Tatum O'Neal, Michael Jordan, and Johnny Depp. Yeah, we remember seeing them in movies, and we don't think of them as being our age. Well, some of us, okay? Okay, Bob and Brenda, they graduated in 1960, and that was the year that Kennedy beat Nixon for president. And the top movies of 1960 were Psycho and The Apartment. I think they made the movie after Bob and Brenda.
This is not the real.
Okay. Some of the people that passed away that year were Clark Gable and Emily Post.
Way to bring us down.
And stamps were still 4 cents back in 1960. I'm just going to go 2 more years, get it up to 63. In 1961, that was the year of the Bay of Pigs invasion in Cuba, which was a failure, and they created the Berlin Wall. Some of the Patsy Cline also released her movies, her songs, not movies, I Fall to Pieces and Crazy. which also relates to, you know, some people over there. And the top movies in '61 were The West Side Story and The Hustler, which was Bob. No, I mean. And back in '62, we had the Cuban Missile Crisis, which went on till the Russians backed down. And Marilyn Monroe died at the young age of 36 from an overdose. Okay, now that's done with the memory lane stuff. Okay. Growing up as a kid, we were 5 in our family. We had my older sister Janine, who's still around and lives out in Colorado. And we had my brother Bob, my older brother, my brother Roger, and my younger brother Danny. Even though I had 2 brothers that were closer in age to me, Bob and I hung around more than probably anybody else of us kids. I can remember we used to go fishing down to Greeley Park, and you know, some of you may know the area, but some of you don't. You know, we'd go fishing together, and especially when they'd open up trout season and stuff down there, and we go together. Then yeah, well, that's, you know, how big you want it. You know?
You were a lot smaller then.
Yeah. So, since we were smaller, the fish looked bigger. Then Bob got married in '63, and he went into service. And while he was in the service, well, Brenda used to give me a call. Hey, Ray, you want to go bowling? You want to go here? So I almost felt like I was dating Brenda at the time. You rascal, you.
He was only 13, excuse me.
I was a little bit older than that. Because in '63 I was 18.
Rosie, point out Ray in the picture for everyone. The picture behind you, point out
Bob
Ray.
and Brenda, they moved to Maryland.
Point to Ray. Show which one Ray is.
Yeah, the good-looking one. Then Bob and Brenda moved to Maryland. They stayed there for 1 year while Bob was down there in dry cleaning school over there, where he learned all about industrial dry cleaning. But so we kind of like all followed the family down there. We moved down to Maryland. Then Bob and Brenda turned around and headed back north, went back to New Hampshire. So then there was a long gap between, you know, we stayed down there in Maryland, and I lived in Maryland for 16 years. Then we moved out to Colorado, and we lived out there for 17 years. Then times got a little tough, so had an offer to come back to New Hampshire. You know, there was a company that was hiring with a lot of overtime, so it was a chance for me to get my feet back on the ground, and so we came over and stayed with Bob and Brenda for a year. And, you know, we worked a lot of overtime. Rose got a full-time job. We paid off all the bills that we had, and we started a new life, and we bought a house. Then from there, it's been, you know, nothing but uphill. We don't think of ever looking back. You can't take back the past, so you just look to the future. It's, you know, especially for all of us. I hope everybody now takes the time to look to the future, and we hope that Bob and Brenda, since they are world travelers and have been all over the world, well, a good part of the world. More so than we have, but we're enjoying life now too, and when we see cheap tickets, we jump on them. And since there was like a big gap between when we lived in Maryland and Colorado, we're going to let other people here that, you know, were closer to them, you know, mileage-wise, to fill in the gaps in between those years. Now, I guess we'll make a toast to them. Then we'll let anybody else who wants to speak can speak. Here's Here's a toast. Tried and true. May they have many more years.
You betcha.
Cheers.
Okay, down the hatch.
Thank you, my son.
Wait, Mama.
My son. My
Here we
second
go.
number two son.
Oops, I didn't quite. Okay.
Okay, now you can pass this on to somebody else.
Okay.
I'd like to tell who's here. That was
Oh.
my family.
Okay.
All right.
Joan loves to talk on the microphone.
I don't really. I do want to just say what a wonderful couple Brenda and Bob are. That in the year when they got married, they had, I don't know how many people at their wedding. It was a large wedding, huge. And over the years, they've had many, many friends. And most of us have been associated through their good works and also because they love to game. And we all love to have a good time together. We have people from all over New Hampshire and all over Vermont and all over here, New York. She's feeding words into me here. But I did want to recognize my cousin, Brenda's brother Bruce, and my cousin Kendra, my cousin Tess, my daughter Jennifer, my granddaughter Ivy, Brenda's nephew, and his name is Andrew. Little Bruce, Ivy, and then Brad, and we've got Andrew's wife, Susan. Yep, and we got Lucy in the back, and Big Brad, Brenda's brother is back there, and Brenda's sister, Barbara.
Scott.
Well, we have Scott, that's Brenda's son. And Jeffrey.
Where's Debbie?
And Debbie is right there. She's,
Jeff's friend?
yeah, she's Jeff's better half, and Lucy,
My
who is
sister-in-law.
Bruce's better half. And very good friends, Gil
Yeah, Gil and Gloria.
and Gloria. And
These are cousins from Vermont. Bob's first cousin, right here.
the cousins, the Vermont cousins.
First cousin.
Isn't one of the cousins missing?
Yeah, she had to go for a minute.
Oh,
I just
okay.
have to tell you, this is the first couple in our family, and we're a large, large family. This is the first couple in our family who has made 50 years together. That none of us have made it.
The kissing bell.
Yes, that's what those are for. Oh. Scott, would you like to say anything?
You got anything to say? Come on.
Okay.
For your mother.
Say just a few words here.
All right, there isn't much I can say that hasn't been said, but
Oh, try it anyway.
50 years, I've been waiting for it. I'm glad it's here, and they are wonderful parents. I wouldn't be where I am without them.
What I'd like to say is first, in memorial, my Nana B, who just passed away in October. I wish she could have been here. She would have loved this. Also, Barbara's husband, Phil. He was originally at the wedding. He's the one who will play again. The only video, as far as I know, that exists from the original reception 50 years ago today. He was a photographer for that one. Also, my Uncle Roger, who Ray is standing in for, was the best man. Joan was the original bridesmaid, and we got her.
Oh, maid of honor.
I'm sorry, maid of honor. A bridesmaid. Sadly, my Aunt Betty couldn't make it down. She was the other bridesmaid, as well as Danny was the other usher. And also, if anyone's wondering why there's no hot food here today, I'm sure people are wondering, this was, I'm trying to recreate their original reception from 50 years ago today. My parents, well, some people may not know this, but my parents actually put on their own wedding. They had a budget, a very small budget. So they had finger sandwiches, those mints over there, the colored mints you said you wanted. Their original wedding cake, you can look at the pictures of it. They paid $35 for it 50 years ago. They picked it up themselves, I've been told. When everyone came outside to see them arrive, it was tried to reproduce that as well. That was Joan was in the front seat. Unfortunately, the real Scots horn doesn't work, but she told me she was blasting the horn all the way from the church to the reception. My parents in the back, and it was my uncle Reggie from Vermont that was his car and who had driven them from the church to the reception. I can't remember if I've got anything. Anything else?
You did wonderful. What?
I hope you were aiming at that's filming.
Oh, I thought you just gave it to me to hold.
Do it again, Jeff.
Do it again. I was just holding it.